Hello, I'm Brian Malow, coming to you live from Lindau, Germany, where it's the 7th Lindau Meeting in Economic Sciences, and there are 330 young economists, well, 250 on site and 80 participating virtually, and we've got about 14 Nobel laureates, and I'm speaking to one of this year's young economists, Sachin Srivastava. I almost nailed it on the first, but Sachin, thanks for talking to me. You're from Carnegie Mellon. And here at the meeting, we have some undergrad students, grad students, PhD students, and postdocs even. And you're a master's student at Carnegie Mellon. What are you studying?
So I'm studying public policy at Carnegie Mellon at the Heinz College. And my focus area is basically public policy analysis, international economics, and more specifically, productivity, innovation, and immigration economics.
So, what about it?
Productivity, innovation, and immigration economics is something that is very close to me, close to my heart, because I am an immigrant myself. And my research and prior research tells us that whenever high-skill immigration happens, there is always an educational spillover which helps boost the country's GDP in the long run and have a higher literacy rate. And there are numerous benefits. I can go on and on, but in the long scheme of things, it is beneficial for a country. At least 50% of the economists agree on that.
Yeah, that immigration in general is good for the country.
Yes.
But you always hear, you hear so often, at least especially from the conservative side in the United States, about the evils of immigration and the problems, and it's costing Americans money, and it's displacing jobs for Americans.
So I wouldn't agree with that, because my work and the prior work that I am following, and in fact I'm looking at the other side of the coin as well, it's not very consistent on either side, but there is this thing that we learned here at the conference, that there is this gut feeling when you see data, when you see something happening, and that gut feeling tells me that this side of the coin is much better, that immigration is helping, immigration improves diversity, immigration helps in intermixing of cultures and learning so many new things that we can't even think about right now at this point. I mean, I stepped into US and I learned so much about so many other cultures, and I did not know I would get that as a part of my education here at Carnegie Mellon. So it's amazing.
Yeah, but the gut feel, I was going to ask you if economics, if you consider yourself a scientist, then is economics a science, and where do gut feelings fit into that?
So gut feelings...
How do you put that into your equations?
So gut feelings do get into models. So as, the Nobel laureate, Professor Meyerson said, that you got to follow your gut feeling and you'll make so many models, and you're going to put all of them in the paper, but you're going to make sure that the model that with your gut feeling is showing some form of result. And usually your gut feeling is right, and when you're consulting with so many people and so many people tell you, yeah, this sounds right, this is happening, we just don't know what model exactly fits into it, that's and then when so many people say it, you know that your gut feeling is going in the right direction.
So let me ask you, did you always know that you wanted to be an economist?
Not really.
Yeah?
So,
did you have other interests or things that you might have pursued?
Yeah, totally. I wanted to, as a 10-year-old, I wanted to be a pilot. Mm-hmm. I wanted to fly the mean machines. I actually got into National Defense Academy in India, but due to some issue, I had to leave. And there was, that was a time when one of my childhood dreams were lost. And then I went into to do electrical engineering, a heavily mathematically challenging, way of life. And then finally, I found my calling while I was traveling, backpacking in India, basically trekking in Himalayas, that I want to make a major impact on this world. And economics gives me the power. With a stroke of my signature or my research, I can impact so many lives at that very instant.
What can you elaborate? There was an experience you had that led you to believing this is your calling? What was that like?
So I am a high altitude trekker. So I like to backpack and trek in Indian Himalayas, like above 10,000 to 12,000, 14,000 feet. And my ceiling is actually 16,000 as of now. And I was traveling. I saw so many villages that don't even have electricity, that don't even have basic essential, necessities of life. And I thought, what is that one profession that gives me the expertise to make a macro level impact on this world, wherever I am? So economics is something that prepares me to be a sound and learned policymaker in the future. I will be an academic, sure, but at some point of my life, I want to make sure that I use my academic prowess into applied policy, in the applied policy world, wherein I make policies that benefit the citizenry of this world.
Okay, so, and I was even going to ask you if your motivation was just how much you like. I want to ask you what you love about economics, but towards your motivation, it's not just the economics, it's wanting to make an impact. It's wanting to make a difference. You were just saying, yeah.
So economics is something that comes very intuitive to me now, at least. Whatever I'm doing, I try to see utility in it, and economics just automatically goes into it. So I guess that's because of my 3 years worth of training in economic sciences as of now. But before that as well, I had an inclination towards economics. I just didn't get an opportunity. In my school life, I wanted to study economics during my high school, but my school did not let me choose because I was in the science side. I was studying physics, chemistry, maths, biology, and they're like, "Why do you want to study economics? We don't offer that to science people." And I was just like, "Okay." Yeah. And in India, there is this concept that if you are a top scorer, you are gonna take science stream. I don't believe in that. To be honest, now I believe in the, do what makes you happy. And economics is something that makes me extremely happy.
So, is there something that you wish more people understood, the public understood about economics and about the kind of economics you're most interested in?
I wish more people entered social sciences and humanities as a profession. It has economics, it has psychology, it has behavioral and cognitive sciences, it has finance is also trying to take benefit out of the social humanities and social sciences behavior, because we are not always rational. So what I'm trying to say is, I wish schools, especially in some developing nations, impacted and taught financial literacy, economics as a basic core curriculum. Because I grew up and I was 18 or 19 years old and I did not know how to file taxes.
Right.
That's something that should be taught.
And there's so many practical things that are not part of our education. Yeah. Balancing a checkbook, invest, how to save money, how not, credit cards.
How to be realistic,
responsible with credit cards.
Yeah.
Like most of that stuff, none of us get taught in school.
Exactly, and everyone is learning through experiencing it through when they have to. And I believe this should be taught at least at a 101 level to everyone. And if I were a policymaker, I would definitely include financial literacy and taxes as a part of core curriculum in school, so that students are ready for something when they have to do something. It shouldn't be like that when they are desperate they need to learn something.
Right.
They should know it. And financial literacy is something that I believe everyone should know, because that is what will make you make your money work for you rather than you spending it only, and you're earning 9 to 5 and then you just spend it and save it in some savings account or stocks.
I see, based on our conversations earlier and this, it's like I see you being like a motivational speaker, Tony Robbins or something in the future. It's someday another career from this. But let's talk about the meeting a little bit.
Yeah. First
of all, how did you first hear about the meeting, and what was the application process like? What was your process to get here?
It's, to be honest, it was more like a luck situation, I guess. I met a friend at Stanford University who was applying for this meeting for the medicine physiology version of the Lindau Meeting. And then he casually asked me, "Hey Sachin, do you know about this?" It's like, okay, what is this? I don't know about it. And I got to know about it. I took the idea to my advisor, And my advisor was like, Sachin, you're a master's student. It's very unlikely that your research might get selected at the university. So it's like, let's try. And then he nominated me, and one fine morning I opened up my email box and the university had decided to nominate me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this dream is actually coming true. I'm probably going to meet a lot of laureates. And then the application procedure started. I submitted my application. I wasn't very hopeful. I was a master's student. I was like, I'm sure some PhD student's research is going to beat me. And then in May 2022, like 2-3 months ago, I received an email from the Lindau Foundation that my application has actually been accepted. And yeah, that's
excellent. But as I said, there are a lot of PhD students here, but there's always a mix. The only limit is that the young economists have to be under the age of 35 because it's about mentorship. And if you're already that far along in your career, then they figure you're not the person that needs the mentorship. So under 35, but that means there are some undergrads here, some grad students, master's students, postdocs, PhD students. So you did have a chance there. So then here you are. And before you got here, tell me something. Were you any anticipatory kind of thoughts? What were you looking forward to? Were there any specific laureates that you were curious to meet? Maybe it connects to your research.
So yes, I actually wanted to meet the Nobel laureate Joshua Angrist, and I actually got to meet him today. And I have a selfie with him wherein he just put his hand over me.
Why did you want to meet him?
He is the god of econometrics, and any economics student has read his book called Mostly Harmless Econometrics.
What is econometrics?
It is the study of, making sense out of empirical data. Statistics, it's basically applying statistics in a more sophisticated way to the data that we get and making sense out of it. Without econometrics, we can't have any results whatsoever. In fact, econometrics is not only used in economics, it's also used in physical sciences like chemistry and medicine, because you gotta prove your results with data, and they need to be statistically powerful and significant. Where does that literature comes from? That comes from econometrics, and Joshua Angrist is one of the contributors to that field who have done amazing in econometrics, and that is what he got his Nobel for. Yes.
And are you presenting your research here?
No.
No. A very small group of the attendees, about 60, get the opportunity to present their research, not only to their colleagues, but to a panel of Nobel laureates. And kind of intimidating, it seems, and scary. But the meeting started yesterday, and so today's the second day of the meeting. What do you think so far? What are your impressions? Any highlights?
I have absolutely loved my time, even though it's just 2 days. And I have a very sweet anecdote that I can share about my conversation with one of the Nobel laureates.
Yeah.
Professor Oman. He's very old. But he's so motivated to teach. He was sitting alone, and I just grabbed the opportunity to talk to him. And we were having a conversation, and he started getting excited about talking to me, and then he started explaining what a research question he's thinking about right now. I quickly grabbed a piece of paper and to give it to him to work on it, because that's a relic for me now. That paper is with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it framed. So
what he was like.
Yeah, he was
writing out a model, showing you a model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was a point when he made a mistake while writing. He went into his coat and took an eraser out, like magically out of his coat, and started erasing and just doing it. And that's when I realized, like, this is so satisfying for him that he's doing it still, and he's so getting the satisfaction of imparting his understanding of a research problem that he's working on to a student. And he carries an eraser it's right now in his pocket. And that was one of the most inspiring moments for me in 2 days, and I guess I would get more of that in the upcoming days. And I'll probably gonna remember that all my life, and I would carry an eraser with me now.
Yeah. And how about, the motto here at Lindau is educate, inspire, connect.
Yeah.
And a lot of the connecting is, sure, you meet some Nobel laureates, but a lot of the connecting is like, well, when I just walked up on you and these other two guys, connecting with other young attendees. So have you had some nice meetings and connections and
Oh yeah,
conversations there?
definitely. I met people from nationalities I cannot count. Some of them are
There
becoming
are
friends.
there are 60 countries represented this year.
Yeah, I don't know how many I've met. at
I don't
this
think I
point.
can name 60 countries.
exactly. And I am definitely going to be friends with some of them, and I am hoping I get to co-author some piece of research or get to work on a project with these folks. They're amazingly talented, and my conversations with them have been enlightening. I got to know about their research, something that I haven't even thought of, and things are exciting. In one of the panel discussions on auction theory and market design, I was able to connect my own research, and the Nobel laureate Professor Meyerson actually told it that yes, that is an unexplored field. And I was discussing this with one of the young economists here, and they were like, yeah, this is something you should definitely explore.
It's great to get that validation from a Nobel laureate, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And the young economist was like, if I were you, I would scribble it down on a notepad and start exploring it as a long-term thing, because if it's an unexplored field, you could be the founder of that.
Excellent.
So yeah, I mean, it is rewarding. Imagine if I start the direction, exploring this direction, and I explore a new field out of economics. Who knows?
Yeah, well, good luck. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, Sachin. And you're my first live interview this year, and we'll be doing more of these over the next several days. Today is only Wednesday, and we have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on Minot Island, which will be really nice. I've been there before. It's another lovely island. So signing off for now, and we'll be back with some more live interviews soon.